Good morning everybody and welcome to this week's Headmasters video blog. It's Friday the 7th of May. On Wednesday we had the great pleasure of Form 5S introducing assembly with a hotly contested balloon debate in front of an audience of boys within their bubble and live streamed throughout the school. We had historical figures such as George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, Louis Pasteur to name but a few, all trying to justify why they should stay in the balloon. The only spoiler I can give you at the moment is that I can't reveal the result of that because the voting is still open until the end of the day. But I hope that we can get a bulletin out in the newsletter or afterwards detailing the end result. Certainly democracy in action, albeit in a very Kingswood House style way. But I thought the boys were absolutely terrific. It was the first time in over a year that we've had some kind of proper live performance, and all of the children I thought rose to the occasion and spoke with a real passion, enthusiasm and eloquence as one might expect. And a big thank you to Mrs. Seaver, who I know has worked like a Trojan to get all the boys ready, not just in terms of their costumes but also in their presentation, so thank you very much to her. On a related note, the Year 10s all really impressed me with their presentations as they did the judges, Mr. Bailey, Mrs. Hornstetter, last Friday afternoon at the culmination of their higher project qualification course. It is no mean feat to produce an independent research project and then a PowerPoint presentation and to talk for 5 minutes about it and then to take questions. A really grown-up effort, and every single boy rose to that challenge, conquering their nerves, and articulated not only a great degree of knowledge about their subject but also a real enthusiasm and quest for learning. I was really impressed, boys. Well done to you all. Also last Friday afternoon, Miss Smith arranged a fantastic Wellington House Day, and I know for a fact that a good deal of money was raised for that house charity, the Make-A-Wish Foundation. We're now looking ahead to the Marlborough House Day, which will take place a week today. So lots of excitement to look forward to, and let's hope that the weather is conducive for that occasion. Thank you very much also to my team of form representatives. We had a really convivial meeting a few days ago, and a big thanks to Julie Larter, the exec rep, for holding it all together and bringing everything to a very amenable conclusion. I'm sure that the minutes will be sent out to you shortly, but it was so lovely to be able to talk about the school in a topical sense with all the boys back here again. It's just been so long since we can actually talk about things that are real and happening and live rather than in a virtual sense. So very exciting, and thank you to all of my form rep team. You've been incredibly kind, patient, tolerant, understanding, all of the values I talk about all the time. Well, you have exemplified those during a very tricky year, so thank you so much. It's wonderful to have your support. I really appreciate it. Year 11s, I'm really impressed with you too. You've started your mock examinations and you've shown real stoicism. I'm so pleased to see the looks on your faces as you have made your way home after the exams. I'm hoping that they're all going very well. We're all rooting for you, and just remember, as I said to you on Monday morning, our door is open. It's really important for you to know that you can talk to any of the SLT, in fact any of the teachers or support staff, if you want to get anything off your chest, if you want to talk to us. We are here for you and we are on your side. So if there's anything that you want to discuss, please come and see us, and obviously we wish you well for the remainder of exams in the days ahead. Year 8 also, well done to you. You've had your French speaking and listening exams this week, and I know that Madame has been suitably impressed by the efforts of the vast majority of you, and I wish you well because you've got your full exams next week. So just remember, try your hardest in everything. If you find something hard, please don't give up. Give it your very best shot. It is an important life skill to be able to rise to the challenge and rise to the occasions, and whether we like it or not, tests, assessments, exams, they do form a part of your future. If think about as something as practical as a driving test, you still have to pass things and overcome that hurdle of nerves and anxiety. But I wish you well, and I know that you will do your best. So good luck with that, boys. And parents, a reminder that there is a Year 8 to Year 9 transfer meeting being hosted by Mr. Clark and Mr. Sikdeo next Thursday evening, and that's in advance of the Year 8 options, which is hot coming up on our heels. So please do make a note of that in your diaries. I'm sure there'll be information sent out to you shortly if it hasn't reached you already. Please also, parents, can you make a note about a provisional change of date for prize giving? This is a showpiece occasion for the school. Last year we were not able to congregate in person, and I'm very keen that we can bring together our whole school community and wrap up what has been a most unconventional and unprecedented year in person. So we have explored the possibility of hosting our own prize giving in the marquee at Epsom College. This is a really significant opportunity for us. Big school where we traditionally hosted speech day no longer fits our needs. We're too many of us, which is a great thing, obviously. So we're now going to use the very same marquee as Epsom College and their own prize giving, but on Monday the 5th of July at 6 p.m. Now, as you will see, I've written in the newsletter, this is 99% certain now. Not quite 100%, but nonetheless, I want to give you the date and the time nice and early because I really do want us all to be there together. So Monday the 5th of July at 6 p.m. in a marquee at Epsom College. It sounds a bit like Cluedo, doesn't it? But that is where we are hoping to be. And once that is rubber stamped, I will confirm it again. But we are 99% certain that is going to happen. So that should give us a great opportunity to come together as a school community and draw what has been a really strange but reaffirming all the positives we can draw from it as well, a year from which we will take away, I think, a great degree of knowledge and skills that we didn't have hitherto. And finally, the senior leadership team and the admissions team and myself, we're all looking forward to welcoming a record number of visitors through our doors on Saturday for Open Day. And you will hear I say Open Day advisedly, not open morning. We have got appointments booked, doubled up, tripled up through the entire day. It is absolutely fantastic and a far cry from where we were a few years ago. That the alchemy, the absolute magic of life at Kingswood House is getting out there, and people are viewing us, seeing us and signing up on the dotted line, and it is just fantastic to see that the ilk of education on offer at Kingswood House is in such high demand. And I thank all of my staff who are going to be present supporting me on that day in advance, and I hope that the next open morning, which is in June, we'll be able to involve the boys once again as soon as practically possible. So now on to this week's Mentions in Dispatches. Well done to James Wang for including lots of description in your story writing for Mrs. Lambert. Well done to William Nelson Bowling and Jamie Chatfield for using 2-digit numbers in mathematics. And Hugh Hunter, well done to you for making a great start to life at KHS from Mrs. Marskell. Well done to Fraser Schmidt for all his hard work with tenths and decimals from Miss Smith. And to Torin for adding up really well using the column method from Mrs. Marskell. Well done Benji Adams and Max Kenner for learning their lines for assembly from Miss Forbes. Reese Bishop and Benji Adams, great contributions in French from Madame Swift. Well done to all of 5S for working so hard on their persuasive writing pieces for their assembly from Mrs. Seaver. It really was fantastic. And Kai Yuk Cho, well done for settling in so well in your first week at the school from Mrs. Seaver. Well done to Jason Shee for showing good effort for Mrs. Lindley. To Harrison West, making a great impression since joining the school in 6L. Looking like you've been here for years, says Mrs. Lindley. Daniel Giles has shown a lot of improvement in his classroom behaviour. And Tristan Bush, great enthusiasm from you too. Well done also to Harrison West from Mrs. Hornstetter, who was really impressed by your work in history. Well done, Harrison. You're settling in very quickly, it seems. Well done to Jackson Worth, who in the Colts team against Homefield hit 2 huge sixes, said Mr. Barrett. And well done to Dylan Newman for your captaincy also. Well done to James Miller, Adam Grattan and Alex Wang for great French work. Hanara Choi, well done to all of your efforts from Mrs. Lindley. To Theo Jenkins in 7BA for a very serious and sensible start to the term, and Bo Clark for a really great attitude to learning from Mr. Barrett. Ibrahim Mohammed, Arlo Saywell and Sam Carroll have all caught the eye in mathematics. Tobias Cox, Theo Jenkins, Avanish Gunjal, Zach Howes, James McDowell, Ian Shafiq, really impressive in computer science. And Theo Jenkins again, Zachary Howes for really super homemade instruments that they made as a part of a project. And I had the delight of seeing them in the flesh. Boys, they were terrific. Thank you, Miss Patel, for sending them in my direction. Dylan Bishop, well done to you for your great effort in the enrichment programme. Luca Staples-Sheesby for your contributions to form time. Dylan Bishop, Sheikh Charlie, Josh Isles, Joel Makarati, Elliot Nicolau for really good work in computer science from Mrs. Webb. Sam Carroll, Michael Sargis for super manners. Love to hear that. Well done, boys. And Charles Wren, an incredible 26.5 out of 28 in his latest science assessment. Well done from Miss Patel and from me. And Mr. Sikdeo, very pleased with his Year 7 maths group for their work on construction of triangles. Into Year 8, Rui Fitzpatrick, Alex Hill and Charlie Leonard for great progress with programming. Dan Pepper has shown an astounding memory for topics that we've covered in maths, said Mrs. Linley. And into Year 8T, Lucas Cressy, Ben Hubbard, Bogdan Podopagora, Ben Holmes, Archie Spick and Tobias Van Hennigan for really good progress with Python programming for Mrs. Webb. And Patrick Gray, well done to you, settling in. Not easy ever settling into a new school, but you've done really well in your first week. The boys think you're absolutely super, and so do the staff, so well done and keep it up. Into Year 9, Max Garrett, Joe Seeger, well done for your industry in maths from Mr. Sikdeo. Zach Allibone, Max Garrett again. Nick Hillen, Ian Abdul for really good work in computer science. Ollie Kennard, a nomination from Miss Black for your great endeavour with science work. Ali Al-Rabai, really lovely kindness, offering to buy some food for a friend in town during town leave from Mr. Twinley. Thank you for that, a lovely observation. Anthony Mirnick and James Kim for really valuable contributions to the My Other Languages competition from Madame Taylor. Tommy Collins, Pete Duncan, Yajan Lee, great work in computer science. Ted Rees, Marcus Glenn and Foluayeni for really super respect for a visitor during an online talk, says Miss Patel. Into Year 10, Ryan Luneman conquered his fear of public speaking and did a great job in HPQ, says Mrs. Hornstetter. Joe Offen, super prep from you in computer science. And Sam Slaney, approaching his work with a new level of conceptual thinking. Sam Squire also noted for really good concentration and pushing himself to do even better than normal. Thank you, Mrs. Linley, for that. Into 10W, Daniel Idris, always prompt in the morning, teaching staff have fed back just how beautifully presented his work is, says Mrs. Weston. Max Mitchell-Nesbitt, Theo Spick, Ewan Walker, Danny Idris again, high standards of prep from Mrs. Webb. Caden Courtney, a really impressive start to term from you, says Mr. Sikdeo. And Max Mitchell-Nesbitt again, really good manners, always respectful, holding the door open, helping out during privileged time. Max, well done, keep it up. And Year 10 DT repaired the wooden picnic table in the Adventure Playground using materials found from around the school and techniques applied from DT, says Mr. Bailey. Well done, gentlemen. A good practical job done there. Mr. Bailey, very pleased with you. And I would just like to add my congratulations to those of Mr. Mitchell, Mr. Bailey and Mrs. Hornstetter, to all the Year 10s for your HPQ presentations last week. It was enjoyable to listen to you. It was even more proud, I suppose, for us all to see you getting up there and learning such an important life skill. Well done to you all. Some of you, that comes easy. Many others, it does not. Into Year 11, Charlie Thompson, a nomination for bouncing back from a difficult personal situation a couple of weeks ago. You've shown really good resilience, Charlie. Well done. And into Year 11, Mr. Sikdeo covered a DT lesson recently and was really impressed with the way the boys got on with their work so independently. And in mathematics, Year 11 boys all brought their A game and their effort in the mock examination, says Mrs. Linley. So well done, Year 11s. Keep it up. You're there, nearly there, and we're all rooting for you. So that rounds off a very busy week of dispatches and commendations you'll find also in the newsletter. Next week looks as though it's going to be equally busy and productive. The staff have got a mock educational inspection visit for the first 2 days of next week on Monday and Tuesday. And I'm looking forward to seeing the net result of that because I'm sure it'll be outstanding. Have a great weekend, everybody.